If you want to continue to follow our adventure, click subscribe. So you don't miss anything, click the bell notification. So we're at another campground where we stayed at 2 years ago, called Point Pleasant. It's in it's just south of Batesville. It's on Lake Enid. And try to bear with the noise. I wanted to do the walk around, but boy, I tell you, the wind noises. But this was the second campground that we stayed at when we started our adventure. You know, we were in the pop-up camper. We just left Missouri. Missouri was under a flood. I mean, it had just got done flooding. As a matter of fact, we had to start our adventure 2 days late because we were stuck by the floodwaters. And I remember how stressed I was. I mean, I was still trying to wind down from all the stress that I had endured from work. I was not feeling well mentally. I remember it very clearly how terrible I felt. The thing is when I got here, I started having all those memories of how I felt when I was here 2 years ago. And I wanted to pass this on to you because it's 2 years ago. Even if you watch those older videos, the only thing you're going to see me saying is, oh, this is great, this is great, this is great. But apparently, because I'm feeling all these emotions that I had 2 years ago, it wasn't all that great. I remember, I guess it was a twofold part of the emotion. The first part of it was the excitement of living on the road as a nomad and seeing all these cool places and seeing this lake. We met all kinds of new people. And I, at that time, determined the Mississippi was some of the nicest people I'd ever met and some of the prettiest sunsets I'd ever seen. It was amazing how wonderful of a feeling it was to be out on the road. And I didn't really think about the fears that I was having. But when I drove down the road to come back here, I even looked at Carolyn. I said, Carolyn, I remember how terrified I was. I was just completely terrified of what we were getting ready to do. Living on the road in a pop-up camper. And I don't know if that feeling ever really went away until we got this camper. I've said in previous videos that there's 3 stages of development. First stage is you're excited and happy and you just can't wait to do this lifestyle, and you're moving from one place to another place, and you're just on and on and on and on. And then the second part of the lifestyle is, wow, it's not quite as exciting as it used to be, but you're still trying to convince yourself that it is exciting. And then there's the third leg of the life of development, where you just kind of decide, well, I'm going to continue or I'm not going to continue. And I have said that if we would have stayed in the pop-up camper, I'm not sure we would have stayed. I think we would have went back to a house, a regular house. Part of me tells me that someone burning down our pop-up camper was one of the best things that could have happened to us. Had it not burnt down, we would have never built this camper, and we wouldn't be so relaxed. And so driving down this road, I remember all those fears that I had. You know, one of the things that I worried about a lot, well, there's actually 2 things I worried about a lot when I first started this lifestyle. One, did the place have water and a bathroom? And 2, did it have internet? Well, we come back here this year, 2 years later, it's January, so they've shut off the water. I'm not the least bit worried about it. I was terrified then of not being able to find a place with water. And it was a real struggle for the longest time. I mean, the first 2 places we went to, Bynum Creek and this one, had everything we needed. Running water bathrooms, clean drinking water. It has great internet with most every provider that I can see. So the second place we went to was Daniel Boone, in the Daniel Boone National Forest, and it didn't have internet. It was miserable. We'd had to drive this gravel road, probably 15 miles an hour, for 7 miles every day around dinner time. The internet was, and when we got to the internet, it was just really slow, and it would take a couple hours to upload a video and do all the things we needed to do on the internet. Of course, you know, I have online programming business I have to take care of. So I was always worried my customers were going to be messaging me. And of course, you know, I'm trying to build a business, you know, right there in the beginning of this lifestyle. So I was always worried that I was going to lose a customer. And then the next place we went was just as bad, except this place didn't have water either. It wasn't too terribly bad because we could go up on the hill about 2 miles and there was a water spigot. And that was in the Thomas Jefferson National Forest in Virginia. We really buckled down and decided the only thing we were going to do is stay at campgrounds that had both internet and water. It was just not an option. We weren't going to do it any other way. So it really restricted the places we could stay at. I mean, really bad. When we got to Florida, we got to a place that had water, bathroom, and it's very spotty internet. And that was just about as difficult as we could get without internet. And we stayed there for several months because we had the pass that we could stay at the campground for the hunt season. We lost the pop-up camper in Florida. So we built this camper. Just like overnight, I don't think water became an issue anymore. Because we were able to figure out how to find it, filter it. We really learned a lot into the second year. Then the second thing that we did, and we just recently did this, was we got another internet provider. So now we have 2 internet providers. We got AT&T and Verizon. And so far, I am very impressed with Verizon. Occasionally it'll drop off, Verizon will, and I have to use AT&T, but for the most part, Verizon's got signal lots of different places that AT&T doesn't. I think with us coming into our 3rd year of this adventure, we pretty much have got this thing completely mastered. My point is if you're going to do this lifestyle, just like all the other YouTubers say, expect the first year to be the toughest year. That being said, after the first year, you're also going to realize whether you're going to want to continue to do this lifestyle or not. Thanks for watching. Click like if you like the video, and happy travels.